then material and spiritual topics are discussed by Srila Prabhupada, Bhakti Saraswati Thakur. Gauranga. Why are people devoid of the desire to serve the Supreme Lord as good as animals? This question is in the Western world, especially now also in Indian countries, even Vrindavan. We become the servants of animals. How lovely they serve their best friends, their best, they take shelter. So, why are people devoid of the desire to serve the Supreme Lord? At least as good as animals. So Srila Prabhupada says on this, serving the Lord is the living entity's only duty. Animals do not have this knowledge. The animals know only their own sense gratification and the sense gratification of their community. They do not know anything other than sense gratification. If human beings are similarly busy seeking their own happiness and sense gratification, if they simply spend their time eating, sleeping, mating, and defending like animals, and if they do not develop the propensity to serve and please the Supreme Lord, then what else can they be called but animals in a human form? If you're very attached to a dog or to whatever they are caring for in their private, they will also accept a similar form in the next life. It's natural. If you're attached, they are making ceremonies to put them to the grave. They spend a lot. They're crying for the dog. So in similar mentality, the humans who are on this level, they will attain in the next life. Or Srila Prabhupada said, then what else can they be called but animals in a human form? Going for the same goal, enjoying, eating, sleeping, mating, and defending. This is the time we are wasting in this material world. And what is the dog doing? Even in the most worst of circumstances, he's trying to enjoy. So it is the occupational duty of human being to desire Krishna's pleasure and to render him devotional service. Anyone who practices devotional service is eligible to be called human. Shastra states, Tamena hina subhi samana. Without religion, people are animals. So desiring one's sense gratification is the business of an animal, and desire to please Krishna is the business of a human being. Human being who is gifted by intelligence, by understanding. So there's another question asked. Did humans create religion? This is now also from this so-called high philosophers, atheists. They are, religion is a creation of the man because they need something to take shelter of. If no hope is anymore in this world, then they create someone who is beyond. In the Srimad Bhagavatam states, Srila Prabhupada quotes this, Tamandu Saksat Bhagavat Pranidam, Davai Vidu Rishay Nabhitiva, Nasita Mukhya, Asura Manushya, Kutano Vitadhara, Charanadaya. Real religious principles are enacted by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although fully situated in the mode of goodness, even the great rishis who occupy the topmost planets cannot ascertain the real religious principles. Nor can the demigods or the leaders of the Sita Loka, to say nothing of the asuras, ordinary human beings, vidyadharas and janaras. These are different kinds of developed beings living in this universe. So the supreme religious principle, Bhagavad Dharma, were not created by humans, nor were they created after the creation of human beings. They are eternal and will continue to be eternal, unchangeable and uninterrupted. So this is, that's because we are not calling, in reality, we are not calling Vaishnavism a religion. We are calling it Sanatana Dharma. This is something that has no beginning, no end. It is our eternal duty. So devotional service to Lord Hari is the religious principle. Apart from Bhakti, all other concocted religious systems have been, are, and will be preached in this world, are man-made, temporary religions, religions opposed to the supreme religious principle. Bhagavad Dharma, Param Dharma, or Atma Dharma cannot be merged with the religion of the body. Therefore, Lord Sri Krishna instructs us in Bhagavad Gita to give up all varieties of religion and surrender unto Him. So, all these religions who are created by man in this world, they are not They are called Chaitya-dharma, or man-made, or cheating religions. A cater. What did I say? So that's because the conclusion Bhagavad Gita is saying, Savaraman Varityaja. Just give up all this concocted. Because why concocted? Because we use religion like animals, just for our enjoyment. We use it to get what we want for enjoyment. And all these different yogas and yogis, they have the same, but in a elevated, in a higher state. But still the mentality is there. I want to have power, I want to get cities, I want to enjoy, I want to control. That means that we have, the mentality is still the same like of animals. So that's because he says, Savadaman Parityaja. Reject all these artificial religions who are just self-centered. As long as we are not focus our service towards the Supreme Lord, what is our eternal duty, we are like two-legged animals. The dog running also all day only for sense gratification. Not? You tell the dog he should serve. No, Vaishnava Dharma is not a spiritual plane. It is a plane to regulate our life.
No, means to give up also this varnas and ashrama.
Yes, but it is at the very beginning. It is not a religion in this sense, but Savadaman Parityaja. Because Varnashram Dharma is first Varnas and Ashramas. So they are the Shudras, they are the Vaishyas, they are the Kshatriyas, they are the Brahmanas. But still they are not pure. Their motivation is not pure. They have not developed the understanding that everything we do should be for the benefit of the Lord. And ashramas, of course, the same. Brahmacharis, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyas. These are all mundane conceptions. Like the sannyas in Varnashram Dharma is not comparable with the sannyas of a Vaishnava line. Because it is a position they take, but it does not mean that he's just rejecting the external world and he's going to the forest or meditate. So there is no bhakti is not developed in this sense. The goal is to just renounce the material conception of life. Yes. This is when the Lord stays in the center, then it is called Gaudiya, means divine activities. So when it turns, this is the goal. Dharma Dhamma is not just fixed, something fixed, you know. There are millions of levels, different levels, and also in all different kind of processes to understand spiritual life. And even in Bhakti, there are so many different levels. So, Bhagavad Gita states, Savadamam parityaja mamekam sharanam vacha aham tvam sarvabhapi pamokshasya masucha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender to me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So this is pure bhakti. When we develop such a faith in the Lord, that He will care for us, that He is there. So we belong eternally to Him. We are part of Him. I remember one Guru Maharaj said, Swami Maharaj wanted to establish Varnashram Dharma in the West because he saw that they are not qualified for bhakti. So he wants to start to develop the attitude to serve the Lord, or to focus our goal towards the Lord. But Guru Maharaj said, in the Western, there will never be possible Varnashram Dharma. I remember I have seen so many joining the temple. Their goal was, in the first place, I want to become a Brahmana. And I want to become a gopi. All this kind of fantasies or illusions, all they went out again. They could not survive. Because this is Kaitava. Now, they thought they can learn how to become Brahmana. Brahmana means one has qualities like a Brahmana. Goodness, you can read in the Bhagavad Gita all day. You can read the mentality of Kshatriyas, like Arjuna, Yudhishthira, Bhima, Sahadev. All they were Kshatriyas. But they had turned the mentality of Kshatriya into devotion. Krishna was their most dear. Even the Lord came to associate with them. And in the same way, the Vaishya, Vrindavan, Goloka Vrindavan or Vrindavan, there are no Kshatriya, no Brahma. Brahmanas, yes. But the Brahmanas have a lower level there than the Vaishyas. There was Yashoda, Nanda, Maharaj. They were Vaishyas. So they are not Brahmanas. But they served the Brahmanas, they respected them. But their child, Krishna, was growling in their courtyard. And they had developed so much devotion and love to them. So that is, and this is all transcended, this Varnashram system. What is really counting is how much I have developed my devotion to the Lord, how much I have understood that actually He's the only one. We can see this in Goloka or Vrindavan Dham. There is far beyond all of this conception of Varnashram Dham. There's only absolute surrender, absolute love is the manifesting there in all the inhabitants of Vrindavan. This is Bhagavad is the spirit soul's eternal propensity. The spirit soul was present even before the creation of human beings. Devotional service, which is the eternal propensity of the eternal spirit soul, is also eternal. The true religious process of sadhana is that which awakens the spirit soul's conditional propensity. That's because we are practicing sadhana. Means regulate our activities. Every day we follow the process of chanting the Lord's name and worshipping Him. And so in the beginning this may be just external action. But by following this sadhana, it will touch our soul, and we will realize actually devotional service is not a material activity. It is the eternal position of the soul, of the spirit. This has no beginning and no end. And so this is the goal of Vaishnava. It is the function of worldly moralists to transform animal-like humans into proper humans. But Bhagavad Dharma is above this. Cultivation of Bhagavad Dharma is eternally necessary to avoid the living entities, the complete qualification to engage in the Supreme Lord's service. Bhagavad Dharma makes no arrangement for sense gratification. It consists in 100% eternal service to the transcendental Lord. This is the only way to attain actual happiness, unlimited pleasure. But we do not believe in these things. This is our position. And we think some external things make us happy. So we cannot give up running for sense gratification. Friendship of dog. We should know that Vox Populi, it is not the same as Vox Dei. But the word of God should be the word of the people. Popular opinion is not the same as God's opinion. So although the Supreme Lord's opinion should be the opinion of the pious people, This is what the Mahajans instruct. People who mix spirit with matter say just the opposite. They say, yatta mata tatra pota. As many opinions are, as many ways. How amazing. The popular voice should be the voice of Supreme Lord. People think that the process of attaining Him, where every popular opinion is given equal valence, should be as highly regarded as love and devotion to Supreme Lord. Even though in those process, devotion is totally absent. Wherever popular opinion is the criterion for ascertaining the absolute truth, non-duplicious truth is far from being realized. This is destruction of all our dreams. Ja.
Das heißt, das letzte Wort, was du gesagt hast, non-duplicious
Truth
is far from
being realized. Whatever comes from my mind or the mind of materialists, it is far from being realized or understand what is the purpose that we are here, what is this material world, who I am, where I am going. Have I been before? What will be afterwards? There are millions of generations, and scientists nowadays try to find out. They do not try to find out. They try to find out how to enjoy more, how to become dog. Yes, it's completely perverted. And Krishna, whenever he says, yada yada hi dharmasya granyo bharata, whenever irreligion takes over, then he will appear and will destroy. So we should not be very optimistic nowadays. It's a complete demoniac conception what they are now. They're making you forget that you are soul, that you are a living being. They want you to become a machine, robots. That is demoniac, it's very demoniac. A few can by their influence of, I don't know, I just heard they make it now chips in the head, you know. They want to control you and use you for their personal purpose. They want to become God. They want to control. And people running after them. They have no intelligence. They have no healthy thinking power anymore. They are running, becoming like puppets, robots. Tell me if I'm wrong. It is a very sad condition where we are now. This will not end in a good way. And it already starts, you know. Everywhere is panic, anxieties, war, pandemics. But it's oh yeah, this planet is burning down very soon. Make you anxiety, make you afraid. With this they can control you easily. People are stupid. They have no capacity to, no experience, mostly young people, what experience they have? We have seen so many summer and so many hot days, and also how you solve it, very catastrophic. Yeah, but these things now, you can see this, even if this is somewhere in Siberia, something you can read. Be careful now, it will be finished soon. And we get afraid, What is this young generation? They have no intelligence anymore. They think they can overcome material nature. They think they can influence. Nobody can influence what should happen, because it is our karma, it's already fixed. We cannot change this. And it will happen if I want or not. What they have found against that disease. There is many arguments they come now. Now we have also politicians, they have so many good things they did, but what changes? But nothing. It gets worse and worse. So, but they are not interested of finding a solution, of trying to understand. Hey, we are eternal living beings. This is only a short moment. We are staying in this world. And we have to come again. And that's what we will come as robots, The next step is when you take birth, they will put already a, how you call it? Chip in your head or whatever. They can control you from the birth. It is horrible. One cannot even imagine how this society is developing in there. Going to hell. Not understood. They have no free thinking power. It is very sad to see, but it is like this. So they may not like to hear these things, but they will also not understand, so it is only Bhagavad Gita and the Shastras, the Vedic Shastras, they are eternal knowledge. This is not limited to a age. This truth is truth. Guru Maharaj many times said, truth is truth and will never change. But disease, old age, death. This is truth. And what we do between is to make us afraid of everything, We're living in hell. Could be like this. So unless and until we have not realized or not understood, we will be a member of this kind of society, and we will live like in hellish planet. But we are not conscious of. We are not conscious of. I think everything will make advancement, everything will be nice in future. But don't expect this nowadays. They have different interests. We are just puppets. Some doubts, comments, questions.
Ist es wichtig, das zu wissen, was die mit uns machen, oder ist das nicht wichtig?
When I see you in your activities, I would say it is quite important too. You already belong to the robots. You're in the possession of eating, sleeping. So this is and mating, like all the people of this planet are running for the same thing. So it's not easy to get out of this. One has to become very sincere. We are under the control of the external world. I think, no, we close here now. We close here. Okay. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Jai Srila Gurudeva ki jai. Jai Gaur Brahmanandi. Mansakalpatarupyasya Kripasintu Veda. Paditan Bhavanebhyo Vaishnava Namo Namo.